Back on the show, it's Cody Durden, who's got another big fight, this time December the 16th at UFC 296 when he faces Tagir Ulanbekov. Cody, how you doing?
Great, man. Great. Living the life. We got 2 more weeks till fight time, and I'm prepared, I'm focused, and I'm driven, man. Ready.
Can't wait to see you back in there, man. And I wanted to ask you, how your Thanksgiving was. It seems just based on some of the posts that you made, it was pretty darn good. You got a monster deer. That thing must have been like 250 pounds. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, man. I just went home for Thanksgiving. Trained back at home for a week, and on Saturday evening, Saturday morning, I sparred 5 rounds, and then Saturday evening, I told my wife, I was like, I think I'm gonna go to the deer stand and see if I can, get me a nice buck before the season's over, because I gotta go back down to Florida, and man, it all worked out. I shot a pretty nice buck, and it was about 200 pounds.
200. Okay.
Nine pointer, about 200 pounds. So it was definitely the biggest deer I ever shot, and it was a surreal moment, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looked like an absolute monster. So that's the biggest deer you've ever shot. Have you had any of the meat yet? How is it? I'm sure the venison is delicious.
So I took it to the processor, and it takes about a week or two for them to process it. But I got whole back straps, uh, burger, steaks, probably about 55, 60 pounds of meat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh, are you gonna let some of the guys on the team taste it? Let them eat well.
Oh, I always do, man. I always do. They always ask me for it, and if I got it, I can share it. Let's go.
Very good. Well, I wanted to give you a little congratulations there. That looked like quite the holiday for you and the Durden family, man. Last time we saw you in action, August, UD win over Jake Hadley. Man, if you didn't have enough fans already, I feel like this performance really kind of tipped you over the edge as someone that the fans can't wait to see compete. Have you noticed that post fight? Have you just been getting a lot more love?
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm growing into the sport, and I can't change the beginning, but I can always change the ending. And I work hard every day, man. Every single day, I put in work, and just trying to be the best version of myself. And I know I've done everything possible leading up to this fight, that I won't have any regrets, win or lose, man. I'm bringing it, and it's gonna be a war.
So you'll be back in Vegas for this fight with Tagir. But this fight that you had with Jake in Nashville, what was that like? What was the arena like? The energy in the crowd, the Nashville fans.
Man, it was amazing, to hear them chant USA, to hear them chant my name, to overcome adversity. I think 95% of the roster would have tapped to that armbar. Uh, I couldn't even throw my jab in the third round when I came out because my arm was so jacked up, and it took about a month to heal. Uh, about five, yeah, about probably about 5 or 6 weeks for my arm to heal, and it was bad, but I overcame it and came out with the victory. I almost had him in the anaconda too. It was tight. I think I squeezed so hard I farted on myself. I wanted to finish him, man. I squeezed so hard, and the blood and the sweat just made it so hard to get a good bite, man. I had him locked in the submission, but I could feel it just slipping because of how the blood,
Mm.
man, it's just so slippery.
Well,
But
you landed a lot of right hands and an elbow in the first round that opened up the cut over his eye there. Was that really the problem why you couldn't get that submission win?
yeah, that was the blood was the reason why that I couldn't get the submission. Granted, it was locked in, but it just I couldn't get a good bite on it because of how slippery we were. Uh, but that's something that I've never experienced before in a fight. Someone with blood all over them and how slippery the blood is. And it's a lesson learned, though.
Mhm. Tell
But
me, man.
I knew in the third round when he shot that I wasn't gonna walk up that anaconda again because more than likely he was looking to, arm drag out of it and get to my back. And we had a little I talked to him. He messaged me after the fight. He was like, "Hey, can you meet me in the lobby? I want to talk to you." I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I went and met him in the lobby, and he told me, he was like, "Yeah, man, I was hoping you'd go for the anaconda in the third round again, so I could arm drag out of it. We were so slippery." I was like, "I know," and you can see in the video, I went to go lock it up, and then I hesitated and said, "Nah, I'm not locking that shit up again." And man, it's good learning lesson. A good way to learn is in the cage fighting. Things that you can't learn, in the training room.
Yeah, you got that fight IQ on point, my man. I was actually texting back and forth with a buddy of mine while we were watching the fight, and we were just blown away at how composed that you stayed, and you were able to get out of the triangle, the choke that he had. I mean, it looked so deep with the armbar and the triangle. Like, how did you just stay so composed and get out of that? Because a lot of people wouldn't have, Cody.
Yeah. Well, I think it just came down to like what I said in my post fight interview. I told my coaches and my corner man, I was like, "Look, man, if I get caught in a submission, it's going to be bad because I'm not tapping." And my coach was like, "All right." And last time I said that, years ago, I got caught in a choke after winning dominating the fight. I got caught in a choke just like the Jimmy Flick fight. But years ago, man, I just made a commitment to myself that I wasn't going to tap if I got caught in a choke. And then I got caught in a choke and I got put to sleep. And it was an embarrassing, horrible feeling. But at the same time, I feel like that mentality will take you further, and I'm stubborn, man. I was willing to let my arm break before I tapped out, and I think it showed a lot about my character. You know that I'm willing to risk it all just for you know just to climb the ladder and get one step closer to gold.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. That was such an awesome performance. I also said to my friend going into that third round, I'm like, the guy who's fresher here in this third round is going to win this fight. And your cardio really just looked impressive there in the third round to get this win here on the judges' scorecards. Is that something that is continuing to get just better and better every fight that goes on? Just your improvement of cardio.
Well, I think it's just my improvement of overall fight IQ and my uh, improvement in my I think it's everywhere, man. I know I'm getting better. I know that I've gotten better. It's August 5th, 100%. Um, I started this fight camp the beginning of October. I was training, but I really started the fight camp beginning of October. Went to Vegas for 2 weeks with Calvin Cater, Rob Font, Tyson Chartier, and started training camp with them there. And I just been building since then. We trained so hard 2 3 times a day, and it was exhausting. There was times I went sparring when I was like, fuck, I already did a training session this morning. Now I got to spar 5 rounds with people that I don't even that they're going to try to take my head off to prove that you know they can compete with a UFC guy. And man, it just elevated me, bro, because I got through it.
Mm.
And I got through those rounds, even when I didn't have the urge to win. I still showed up. I still got through the rounds, and man, you're gonna see something special in 2 weeks. I believe that.
Yeah, I saw that you were training with the New England Cartel. How did that come about? Because those guys, that's my area. I'm from New England. I see them pretty regularly. I guess if I'm out and about, like, how did that come about? Is that something that you're going to do again and train with those guys?
Yeah, for sure. Man, I think it was just right time, right place kind of thing. I ran into Rob Font. I ran into Calvin Cater. Uh, I've known Tyson Chartier since I guess 2020, and just run into these guys at being on the same fight cards, running into them at the PI, and Tyson just he knew that I guess I'm a good wrestler, a good grappler, so you saw how Rob Font versus Corey Sandhagen went, and I feel like Rob knows the gap that he needs to close, and I was available to help him out, and that's what I did. I went and tried to help him fill that gap of wrestling, and just because he got out wrestled by Corey Sandhagen does not mean he can't wrestle. I
Right.
promise you that. And I think he's going to dominate uh, Figgy tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what's your prediction? You think he gets a UD win, or does he get him out of there?
Man, I think he gets him out of there via TKO.
I could totally see that happening.
His
So
hands are nasty,
oh
bro.
yeah,
His hands are nasty. Like even when he misses a jab, he'll grab your collar tie and pull you into the big right hand like he did Yanez. And I experienced that firsthand. I was like, man, that's pretty slick. And so I give him a little bit of knowledge and he gives me knowledge, and that's how you get better, you
hmm.
know.
I think you need to come up to New England maybe next fall, get some hunting in and some training in. That seems
Yeah,
like it would make sense.
Yeah, I was talking to Calvin Cater last week, and I'm gonna go up and stay with him and train for a week. And he's like, "Man, I got all these deer in the backyard," which I don't even care about that, but I thought it was pretty funny. He's like, "Cody, there was 4 deer in my backyard yesterday." He was like, "You will teach me how to shoot it?" I was like, "Man, y'all are wild."
Yeah, it'd be cool to have you up here, man. I'm sure they'd love to have you back helping them in the training room as well. So when you look at the Cody Durden that you are now versus when you fought Makayev, if you got that rematch, how much different would it be? How much better are you now?
Well, I can tell you this: it's gonna be. I don't. I think it's gonna go a lot longer than the first one. Just keeping a straight spine. Not that was my first ever crowd event. Um, Keeping a straight spine, not ducking into things. Uh, it'd be a good one. Be a good one. And Makayev, I like Makayev. He's a great up and coming prospect. I think uh, one of the best prospects, you know, in a long time.
Mm.
You know, was he 24-0 as an amateur? Now he's 10-0 or 11-0 as a pro. I mean, just amazing accomplishments, and he's only 21 years old. Uh, I could see big things from that guy, but business is business, and I'm sure we may cross paths again. We may not. Who knows?
Well, I think the fans would like to see you cross paths again, especially if you keep racking up wins like you are. I also saw that you went on the O'Day Osborne podcast recently. Tell me, man, how did that come about? Because there's so much trash talk beforehand, and it seems like, are you guys cool now? Is the beef squashed, or is there still going to be a fight down the road?
I mean, we're just competitors, Brian. And we have a disagreement. He thinks he can beat me, and I just don't see it happening, bro. I just don't see it happening. And that's all there is. Uh, went on the podcast. Did you get a chance to listen to it?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking funny, ain't
Yeah,
it?
you guys are going back at one another. It was pretty funny, man. It was that was a good listen for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, may cross paths with him one day as well, but he's got some catching up to do.
All right, fair enough. Well, again, that's another fight I'm sure the fans would love to see. You talked about when you started camp here training with the cartel. Tell me what it's been like since. Obviously, I imagine you're right in Florida getting your training in at ATT. Tell me who you've had around you.
Man, I've been training with Adriana Moraes, Kyoji, Pantoja, the champ of the division. A lot of guys down here. trying to just get better and focus on myself, not really worried about my opponent and what he thinks he's gonna do. Just trying to keep things simple.
And you said you're picking up your wife from the airport later today. When do you guys actually leave for Vegas?
So I'm gonna do another week here, and then I'll head home for the weekend, and then I leave out on Tuesday, I guess the 12th or 11th, for Vegas, and then we fight on December 16th.
How excited are you to be fighting in the T-Mobile Arena?
Man, it's surreal. You know, this will be only my third event with a crowd, and I just feel so comfortable in the cage, man. Like a little nervousness, but not too much. A whole lot of confidence, and I just got a championship team behind me. You know, I'm blessed. I'm prepared. I'm focused. I'm ready, man.
Give me some title predictions if you don't mind. Let's start with the main event. The 170 straps on the line. Leon Edwards, Colby Covington. Who gets it done? How do they do it?
I'm gonna say Colby Covington via unanimous decision.
I think that's a safe bet. You just
And
think his
it's a
wrestling.
stretch. It's a
It's
stretch, man. I mean, you know, Leon's good, man, and it's gonna be. He's not gonna go in there and just take Leon down and ride him out every round. It's not gonna happen like that. Leon's got pretty good takedown defense, and he's got damn good striking. You saw the Leon versus Bilal Muhammad, how that fight was transcending into, I believe. Uh, I just saw Leon taking control of the fight, and Bilal, started to realize like, hey, this guy can strike. And I see Bilal and Colby striking, kind of similar, with
Mhm.
the cardio and the striking. But the difference is Colby's southpaw. So I'm interested in seeing that fight.
Do you think the layoff in action is going to affect Colby?
I think so. I think so. But then again, I would think it would. But then again, to each their own. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're going to find out December the 16th. The co-main event is for the title in your division here, Pantoja Royval. Who do you see winning this one?
Man, I got to go with my boy Pantoja. I think he's gonna submit him again. I know Robo is gonna come out hands down. He's gonna be circling, keeping that outside range, the kicking range. And Pantoja is the Terminator, man. He just keeps coming forward no matter what he gets hit with. And uh, yeah, I see him getting a submission. We'll say let's say third round submission.
Third round submission. Okay. Well, a couple of great title fights. I mentioned, Colby being out of action for a while. Well, your upcoming opponent, Tagir, he's been out of action for over a year too. So let's transition to this fight because this is really one that I know the eyes of the MMA world are going to be on. It's an important fight for you. He's number 14 in the division. So if you get this win, I have to imagine you're going to be in the top 15, which is something I know you've wanted for a while now. Do you think he's going to have cage rust? What do you expect to see from Tagir come fight night?
Oh man, I expect to see him, come out, uh, try to work his jab, try to take me down, man. He's coming in there to try to wrestle me, and everybody knows I can wrestle. And what happens if I take him down first? You know, I don't think I have to worry about the jiu-jitsu aspect, such as like a Hadley, but yeah, Tagir, I don't think he's anything special, man. I think I fought better opponents, and I've been more active, and I've been more healthy. Every the stars are aligning, and I've been in there with some killers. Chris Gutierrez, fought him on 5 day notice. Micaiah Muhammad. Granted, I shouldn't have lost to Jimmy Flick, um, but yeah, man, I'm ready.
Now, your upcoming opponent, he did lose a unanimous decision to Tim Elliott. Did you learn anything in that fight? Something that maybe you can implement?
Yeah, man, I took a lot from his last few fights, and we studied it, analyzed it, and the best man win. Can't give away too much,
Sure.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Come on,
Understood.
too much money on the line, bud.
I
And
got you.
that's what I do it for, the money.
Tell me where Tagir is most dangerous still. Like, where do you have to be the most careful in this fight?
Um, Definitely got to protect your neck. He's got 7 or 8 guillotines, and just be first. Be first on every exchange. Don't win every exchange. And just be first, man.
Cody, your striking has looked better and better like every fight. Like it just continues to elevate. Do you think that could maybe be the difference in this fight?
Oh man, it's gotten a lot better too. Just wait, it's gotten a lot better. I was watching my last 2 fights last night. I was bored, and I was just thinking, man, uh, it has gotten better. And just hearing what people say about my overall performances, and then getting back to work, training more since the last fight. I just know I've gotten better, and so I can't wait to show it.
Give me your official prediction. How do you get your hand raised here?
Man, in a fight, anything can happen, but we'll go with third round TKO.
Third round TKO. I'm looking forward to it, man. Can't wait to see you back in there December 16th, UFC 296. What a great event to be back at it on, right? I mean, this is such a huge one to be on. Last question for me, Cody, before we let you get out of here. As far as next year goes, I mean, it's almost 2024. How many times do you want to fight? What are your goals here for next year?
Uh Man, I haven't even thought about, every year I write down my goals, and this year I've almost crushed every goal. I had a goal to be a better husband, better father, make more money, get a $50,000 bonus. Haven't done that yet. Be, in title contentions by the end of the year, which we're coming up on the end of the year. Granted, I'm not really in title contentions, but I'm a lot closer than I was a year ago. You know what I mean? So I haven't really thought about next year yet. We got to get through this fight first. Get in there, hit him with some good shit. Don't get hit and leave with a pocket full of money. So that's the plan. And then I'll let you know in the next interview what the goal is for 2024.
Sounds good, my man. Always appreciate your time, Cody. Can't wait to see you back in action. Before we do sign off, as always, I want to give you the floor. If there's anything you want to plug, anyone you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Thank you to all my sponsors. Uh, and tune in December 16th. Can't wait. And also go follow me on YouTube, Cody Durden. Trying to build my channel up, trying to post some videos, vlogs, stuff like that. Go give me a follow. I appreciate it. And thank you.